An appeal for the sake of those who come here for help. It saddens me to no end how so many here advise divorce like it's some easy thing to do. Now, of course, this being the internet, I'm also not saying that it's okay staying married when obviously a divorce would be the safer and healthier option. Sad I have to point that out, but people look to the extremes these days. No, I'm just complaining how so many who lack the experience, never been married, never been in a serious committed relationship, and who have never even gone through a divorce, to even voice an opinion. From what I understand, this is about 60% of the commenters here. So just throwing out the word divorce when most here haven't even a clue is what entails. Is like offering advice on building a house when they have never held a hammer. Is just wrong at best, maliciousness at worst. Case in point, I just read a post here that I was sad to see, where a man had asked to open his relationship. He was an idiot, of course, only for it to backfire. But he was not actually having a physical affair yet. It was emotional, which I'm not condoning. But he did confess before it got physical. And when the wife shot it down, she came here for advice. Now, of course, I have to stipulate that I don't condone what he did. I do think his wife is very validated for her anger. I am not taking the side of the stupid husband. Sad that I have even say this because most here will think this is where I'm coming from. No. I have a problem when someone comes here for advice. And people just throw divorce as the nuclear option, first thing. This isn't surviving after an affair. This isn't a divorce sub. This is a marriage group. In other words, it's set up as a means to work through problems if possible, as well as help people who might need a little push one direction or in another. It's a way to get a clear answer for many. Now from the post and its update, the man tried to open the relationship, then when questioned confessed his love for another woman he met online. He wanted his wife, but like so many poly stories, these idiots think going poly will solve their wandering eye. And this completely backfired on him, as it should have. He deserves whatever he gets, but and I say but, he did bring it up before he did the deed. He asked for permission and then even was honest about who he wanted to see. Now this totally devastated the wife, and I feel for her, but this was a solvable, fixable situation. He promised to not continue that relationship. Well, he admitted to the other girl that he was married and was trying to open his marriage, and she bolted. Good on her. But nonetheless, they broke contact and he gave his wife access to his phone and stuff. Over the last couple of months, he has been trying to get back what he lost. Let's face it, we all know that wasn't going to happen. But the wife has decided she couldn't forgive him and has asked for a divorce. This is her right. But as I said, this was a fixable situation if she had been in better frame of mind. She isn't BTW. She is distraught and overcome with conflicting emotions over this, and most here would be happy just to see this marriage come to an end, and many here have pushed her in this direction with no skin in her life. Which is sad cause this is a marriage sub. Now, of course, she has every right to feel what she is feeling. But I can't help but imagine if cooler heads could have at least steered her to at least try counseling, and while maybe not trust her husband, to at least try to forgive, just for her sake, and give therapy and her husband the chance. Now throughout this, the husband has been trying to keep the marriage. He at least wants his wife back and has been somewhat doing what she wants and giving her space. He is screwed up and she now is getting a restraining order. Last one was denied. Because he had called a welfare checker because she is psychologically not doing well. Since she doesn't want him anywhere near him, it's quite obvious she is conflicted. At this point, she just wants it all to end. But like many here who don't know, divorce can take a year or more. So this is going to be a drawn-out process. What I'm saying is when someone comes here asking advice, they are in an emotionally fragile state. And so many wanted to crucify the man who hadn't cheated yet, who was asking permission to cheat, and who doesn't want to lose his wife. These are all important facts and context. And I can actually say that because my first wife did cheat on me. She did confess after the fact. 6 months physical and emotional affair with another married man. And I would have forgiven her if she had wanted to save our marriage. So I have the right to complain here. I have been in OP's shoes and have walked her pain. She is now living in an apartment, paying for her shared house, living paycheck to paycheck, and it's killing her to do so. I gave her the best advice I could, but I'm sad to say I never saw her first post nor her first update or her third. Until today. But I can't help notice all the negative comments on a marriage sub. People come here for help, and she just got pushed off a cliff. No one brought up anything that I brought up. The permission, the confession, and willingness to try to be better and to save the marriage. And I can't help but think, if this had been flipped, if it had been the wife who had done this and she had wanted to be forgiven, most of you guys would have at least said, give it a shot. Not the divorce is the only option. I can't help but believe she nuked her relationship because of the divorce validations she got here on this sub for marriages. Now, of course, you guys will go back through my posts trying to dig out something bad I've said to justify to yourself I must be a bad guy. But you'll see pretty much what I have said here I have said before. Don't be so hard on men. They are trying. Yes, there are bad ones out there, but fewer than you think. This is a sub for marriages, i.e., trying to help people stay married and help them to rekindle what they lost. And to please, if you aren't married or have never been divorced, to please not call out that option, as you haven't a clue as to what that entails. The emotional and the economic loss when that happens. I wouldn't wish divorce on my worst enemy. It's that bad. And I have always lived by this piece of advice. It takes two to make a marriage and at least one to destroy it. I hope you guys have a great life. I'm sorry for the rant, but didn't think it would be right to vent on OP's post as this didn't pertain to her.